block that trail specifically, but...
And it looks as though there is one in front of him as well, lights flashing, but hard to tell if that's a regular car, civilian car it may be.
Civilian car.
And now he's taking off again. But he also keeps veering across the yellow line.
Right now, Mike Silman is keeping me updated. He's headed to Barker Cypress right now, back that way.
All right, so back to where he came from. He's going to head off
around people.
Yeah, he's going to head the road. He's heading off road there. Their vehicles are stopped way in advance so that officers, no doubt, are telling them to pull over. At some point, you know, when this gets just way too dangerous.
All right, he just sailed through that light there, and now he's taking off again.
That might be Barker Cypress once again. So far, he's gone around in circles just trying to lose police, but it hasn't been successful on his part. And, you know, 98% of the time, it's not. So you wonder what's going through his mind, because clearly he's not able to outmaneuver a helicopter.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to happen. So they're going to stay on top of it. We're going to be right on top of this as well, watching it very closely. And he doesn't want to stop. No indication there. Again, this is probably early 2000. No, not 2000. To 2012, 2013, Acadia GMC. White SUV, been traveling now for the past 30 minutes, trying to evade police.
Just passing Oakhampton.
Oakhampton, and still on Barker Cypress, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Well, and he's definitely picked up a couple additional police cars there in pursuit.
Yeah.
So you can see at one point there was only one following him. Now it looks as though several others have also picked up.
The deputies, you can see the sheriff's deputies, and that's a DPS unit there. So you have DPS immediately behind him now. They've almost, I wonder, taken the lead on this, because I don't know how far he is in northwest Harris County. But is he going to turn around?
Catching Clay Road, going back the other way on Barker Cypress.
And you've got to imagine whoever's driving that SUV is thinking, what the heck is going on?
Okay, it looks like he just missed the stop sticks again.
He just missed him again. Just barely missed him. But you know what?
Once they get those stop sticks underneath, you know, the vehicle, the chases just don't last that much long. So I mean, they've got enough officers out there. They're just, or you know, do a pit remover or pit move. You know, that stops them pretty quick too. But right now, we just see them trying to do the stop sticks.
Well, Amy, tell us again where you are.
Barker Cypress, just past Clay, I believe. Pilot Mike Silman is helping me with some of the streets. It's kind of hard to see back here. I'm in the back of the helicopter operating the camera.
Right, yeah, go down there, zoom in there. There you go.
And he continues
back into residential areas.
Yeah, but he's got a lot more vehicles behind him right now in pursuit. This
may still be the Brentwood subdivision there that he's gone into just off of Barker Cypress in northwest Harris County. He seems to be inclined to stick to those residential areas, hoping, you know, if he could lose them in the zigzaggy, you know, traversing the residential streets. But it's not going to happen.
Always makes you wonder if they know that particular neighborhood. All right, it looks like he's being blocked off. Nope, he still managed to get around them.
They just...
You know, if he would have driven in front of him, I'm sure he would have had to stop. But
I know, but it's always easy to sort of. Yeah, it's easy to
right, it's easy to quarterback when you're watching it from up above.
Exactly. I was looking for the nicest way to put that.
You're right. The vehicle from behind at the right point in order to get that pit maneuver. Yeah, it's very delicate. You know, police officers train for this type of thing, for chases and stuff. And so again, you just have to, when you do that pit maneuver, get the right area from behind, or obviously the stop stick, which right here looks like.
And something to also consider.
It looks like they may be bringing him to a stop. He's not going out into that traffic.
Because there's too much traffic out there.
Bear Creek Park and Clay Road. Westbound Clay Road.
Okay.
And a lot more traffic here now.
Something to consider as well, the pit maneuver is right now only used by HPD. The Sheriff's Department is not actively using it unless they've changed their tactics.
We may have just lost the picture for a moment there.
Yeah, we'll stick with this. And
Amy, if you can kind of verbally keep us apprised. We've lost your picture for a moment.
Clay Road coming up to Barker Cypress. I don't know if you can hear my audio.
We can.
Some camera issues right now.
We can hear audio, but we cannot see.
All right, here we go.
So this is what becomes difficult because I have to try to find him again. Hold on one second. Pilot Mike Silman says he's coming up on Clay Road.
Okay,
we got him again, I believe.
All right, there he goes.
There he goes again.
Oh,
In the traffic.
right
Oh,
here.
there they are
Oh,
trying to get him,
just
but it
missed
looks
him.
like they missed him again.
I don't know. He may have caught a right front tire there, David. I don't know what you think, but you're watching this closely as well. It looks like he may have missed it. Yeah, he may have missed that. If he can catch just one tire on that
camera issues again.
spike strip.
Sorry about that. I'll keep trying to narrate.
No problem. You go ahead and work that out, Tammy. We're gonna have your audio though. Tammy's trying to work out the camera issues, but we'll get back on it. We promise you. We'll be right back on top of it here as this SUV continues.
Well, what we do know, Tammy, is all right. Here we go again.
Okay.
Tammy, are we back on Barker Cypress?
He's coming up. I think he's on Clay Road right now, Mike.
Okay.
He's turning northbound on Clay Road into a neighborhood from Clay Road.
We
into
keep
a
losing
neighborhood
camera,
right now.
but unusual.
All right, just tell us what's going on, Tammy, if you will. Has he turned back into that neighborhood, or is he still on the road there? Can you tell us?
Unfortunately, oh, there we got the camera back. Unfortunately, I see what you see because I'm in the back of the helicopter right now.
see.
But it looks like I think I got him, Mike.
All
Is he
right, it looks like you do again.
That's not the
him?
SUV.
Okay.
That's not the SUV.
Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, unfortunately, when the camera goes out, because I'm in the back of the helicopter, I have to find the scene again. And this is why it's so important for the pilot and the photographer. We work very well together. You know, where he's helping me, I'm helping him. Right now, I'm looking outside the helicopter to see if I can get it.
We'll be right.
Frank, we're going to take this from you right now. We've got a breaking news alert to tell you about. Case of trivial pursuit, really. A police chase underway in northwest Harris County. This was in the area of Barker Cypress. Now we're told westbound on Clay Road.
Yeah, we're told that the chase actually started off of Highway 6 and FM 529. What you're looking at right now, that white SUV, is what the police officers are chasing. In fact, this is Harris County who is working this chase as it weaves its way through the neighborhoods there.
We're told law enforcement tried to lay down spike strips to stop this chase, to end it right there. It did not, though. The driver was able to get by those spike trips. We're still trying to learn what started this chase. No word on any injuries right now, but at this hour, on spring break, going through a neighborhood like this, at least we're not talking about really high speeds at this point.
Yeah, we're going to keep our eye on this and to try and figure out how this all began. But like Bill said, we are not looking at a good scenario here for this neighborhood, especially because there could be kids and families out walking around right now. We are working to learn more about the agencies involved in this. A lot of times in these chases, other agencies will jump in if, you know, the driver crosses jurisdictions. But we do know right now that Harris County is working this chase as it weaves its way through this neighborhood in northwest Harris County in the Barker Cypress area, sort of north of Bear Creek Park.
Just a moment ago, we saw another helicopter crossing the path of our Sky 2 helicopter. It appeared to be what we call a Fox unit, a police helicopter that is also giving help to the units on the ground who are involved in this chase. Again, we're not sure what started this chase. We only know where it began and about where it is right now up in northwest Harris County. Out of the neighborhood finally and out on a big stretch of road.
Oh, it looks like another officer tried to stop him from the other direction. And this is on Old Greenhouse Road. This car just sped past an officer that was stopped there trying to block the driver's path. That obviously didn't work. But, you know, Bill, police can use many tactics to try and stop drivers to prevent this from becoming a crash situation.
I called this a case of trivial pursuit at the very beginning because these things always end the same way. The driver never gets away, but they never seem to learn that lesson. They keep trying to run away from the police as though they're actually going to be able to escape, and it never happens that way. And frequently, these things end in a very bad way, sometimes tragically.
And we see some of the law enforcement officers getting out ahead of this, stopping cars. You see how some of these cars are stopped either on the street, some of them may be parked, but a few were stopped on the street. Officers also have to do their best to warn drivers ahead of impending danger because they just simply do not know what this driver may or may not do. Again, this was, upon last check, this driver is coming down Old Greenhouse Road with multiple Harris County Sheriff's Office and possibly a DPS vehicle in pursuit right there.
Now, this is out in the county. In the city, there are strict rules that govern police chases. Only supposed to have 2 units chasing at any given time because trying to stop the way that these things sometimes tragically end. This out in the county, though, and not sure what the rules are, that govern chases out in the county. Driver now turning right back into a residential area here, just wending his or her way in and out of this Northwest Harris County neighborhood.
Yeah, we've been fortunate that we have not seen too many pedestrians out in this neighborhood at this time of day, 5:24 on a weekday during spring break. That is a good thing. Certainly, police do not want this driver to either wreck or to hit any pedestrians. Certainly, and as we get a tighter shot here, it does look like there's some front end damage close to the headlight of this car. This white car is the one that Harris County law enforcement officers are chasing right now.
Very dangerous situation here going through neighborhoods like this on spring break when you might have children outside playing right now because they're out of school. This is 5:24 on a Wednesday when, here we go, they've got him blocked right here, Sarah.
Yeah. This is Abbey Land Way near Barker Cypress. Oh, and he just narrowly missed.
Did you see that law enforcement officer try to slap the car with his jacket in a very futile attempt as to a show of futility, really?
Yeah. Oh, and this person is now turning onto a much busier intersection. We've seen him or her weaving out of these neighborhoods right here. And Harris County and other law enforcement agencies have tried multiple times to get in the path of this driver to stop them and keep them from continuing on. But this person has just weaved around them.
They set up a very ineffective blockade there. It was very, very half-hearted blockade. Very easy for him to manage to get his way through there. It's almost as though they didn't want to stop him because they left a full car width opening between the two police cars that had blockaded the street in that neighborhood when they could very well have stopped him by blocking off the street.
Yeah, and every time this person seems to encounter some kind of blockage in the road, whether that be a civilian car or law enforcement, he or she just seems to keep winding around it. Police officers really have a difficult job of trying to determine where this person might be heading so that they can get out ahead of this and try and stop this person. They are slowing down a little bit, it seems, as they wind through this neighborhood. This wasn't far from Barker Cypress, and we'll do our best as our Sky 2 helicopter follows this to get you more information about exactly where this car is located and where it is heading.
It's up in the Barker Cypress area, and as a matter of human nature, when this car went through that blockade right now, every police officer who's involved in this chase, every sheriff's deputy, I should say, who's involved in this chase, and DPS officer heard that on the police radio. That increases the frustration of the officers involved in this chase, and it leads to what possibly could be a more tragic end.
Yeah, this person is now on guarded manner. This is really our first pedestrian that we saw stepping out and kind of taking a step back onto the property once they realized what was going on here. But this person doesn't seem to be driving extremely fast. But once again, we see a law enforcement officer trying to get out ahead of this. This person just keeps winding through the road, going whatever way he or she can to get out of this. We haven't seen any law enforcement officers take really, really drastic measures to stop them.
They haven't been that aggressive. There is a technique that they can use where they hit the rear bumper of the car, the right or left side of the rear of the car, that causes the car to spin and turn. But they're in a neighborhood, and that may be why they're avoiding that kind of aggressive strategy at this moment.
Yeah, now we are turning, we hear that the driver is heading down Windsaw Trail. This is in the Barker Cypress area, Northwest Harris County. In case you're just tuning in, we still don't know why this chase started. The driver of this white vehicle has been evading Harris County Sheriff's Office deputies, and it looks like at least one DPS trooper there in pursuit for about the last several minutes, as well as a law enforcement helicopter there trying to stop this person. We haven't seen any drastic moves to stop them just yet. They have been winding in and out of these neighborhoods pretty much for the last several minutes now.
Near collision just back about 2 blocks here, and he seems to be driving just in circles. Frequently, what they're looking for is an opportunity to jump out of the car and run from the police officers, which again never ends well for the person involved. I'll hear another near collision here as the driver turns, the person is being chased, turned left in this neighborhood, just making big circles through here, looking for some opportunity to get away from these police officers, maybe on foot.
Yeah, again, as Bill said, that generally tends to cause a big disruption for that neighborhood, because if that person takes off on foot, police officers are pretty much forced to kind of shut the neighborhood down and pursue the driver. It does look like he's pulling into a driveway right now.
Yep, he's going to bail out of this car probably.
Let's see if this person surrenders or if they take off. It looks like they are surrendering. Their hands are up right now. Law enforcement officers have that person. It is difficult to see because the trees are blocking, but this person appears to be in custody right now.
Yeah, multiple lawmen running up to the vehicle as it pulled into what appears to be a driveway here in the Barker Cypress neighborhood that has been the focus of this police chase. You can see all the sheriff's deputy vehicles there in the background. Looks like this chase has come to an end. There's the police helicopter below, and
our Sky 2 helicopter, working to get a better look, and the person who is driving looks like a man in a blue shirt, has his hands behind his back now, a DPS trooper there, as well as Harris County Sheriff's deputies and possibly other law enforcement agencies now have this person in custody. This chase sort of came to a very calm end here in this Northwest Harris County neighborhood, which is a good thing, Bill, when you consider all of those intersections he was blowing through and the fact that we could have had people walking around this neighborhood. This is pretty much the best case scenario, the way they want to see one of these chases end.
We're hard up against the end of our 5 o'clock newscast and the beginning of the NBC Nightly News. Here, we're going to stay with us just a bit longer to see how it resolves. They've got the person here taking him into a sheriff's car.
Yeah, this is the Harris County Sheriff's deputies now taking this person into custody, this man in a blue shirt here. We're going to keep looking into this to see how this started. It started somewhere around Highway 6 and 529, and it lasted for a good several minutes, but we are working to get more information. Usually in this kind of a scenario, we will get in touch with the Harris County Sheriff's Office once this concludes and once they make sure that this neighborhood is safe, and it appears that it is now, to kind of get more information about how all of this began.
So the chase has ended very safely here. We will follow this, as Sarah said, and bring you more on our newscast at 6 o'clock. Now here is the NBC Nightly News already in progress.
Ed, good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alona Carson.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Art Rascone in for Eric Barajas tonight. Breaking news, a suspect in custody after taking police on a wild chase through Harris County.
Yeah, this was wild, to say the least. The chase started around 4:52 near Highway 6 and Highway 529.
Yeah, allegedly the suspect was caught breaking into cars. It lasted about 40 minutes, ending about 5:30 when the driver suddenly surrendered after pulling into a driveway at a home on Willow Stream. Eyewitness News reporter Marla Carter there at the scene in Northwest Harris County. Marla?
All right, this is that vehicle right there, pulled over into a driveway. You can see they are about to tow it off. Now, according to a neighbor that we spoke to, the vehicle actually belonged to that house. We're waiting to get that confirmed with deputies, but we did just get a lot of new information for you. We heard that this all started this afternoon after cars were reported that were broken in a parking lot, a Target parking lot at 529 and Highway 6. After that, the suspect vehicle was spotted. That's this white vehicle that you are looking at right now, and that led to a pursuit, and it lasted, as you mentioned, 40 minutes. Went all over Northwest Harris County. Now, investigators also had their helicopter in the sky, and that was hugely instrumental because it really helped deputies not only track where the vehicle was going, but also to make sure that the vehicle that they were going in a safe pattern, and meaning that they were not in the danger of anyone else being in danger of their travel pattern. They said being light traffic really helped. When you saw this live here on ABC 13 on Sky Eye, and you saw that this vehicle was going at a high rate of speed through neighborhoods, through busy roads. So certainly we are very fortunate that no one was hurt, and they thank that light traffic, possibly due to spring break, that no one was injured. A lot of caution taken today. Meanwhile, that person that was in that vehicle is going to be charged with 2 counts of burglary of a motor vehicle, along with evading arrest. Now, if you can see back out here live, you see that the tire is blown right there. That's because investigators put stop sticks down about a half a mile from here, and that really caused the vehicle to stop. They were going up to 60 miles an hour, according to investigators. Now, also on our Sky Eye video, I know a lot of people were asking what was thrown out the window. Well, according to investigators, that was some of these stolen items. In fact, they believe one of the items that was thrown out the window was a checkbook that was stolen from someone's vehicle.